Now we would like to resume Roundtable D session. We would like to start. And let me introduce the members who is on stage right now. The advisor, Shimizu Corporation, Director IGSAP, Mr. Takashi Kawata. And Principal Consultant, Occupational Safety and Health Council, OSHC, Principal Consultant, Mr. Winston Yoon. Deputy Director of Research Center Team Leader, ICE, Mr. Tamio Tanigawa, Mr. Tanikawa Tamio. And the Secretary General of ISSA Agriculture Section, Director of the Communication and International Cooperation Office, Ms. Magdalena Waknitska-Witzke, and founder of Management Director of Managed Damage, Ms. Gillian Hamilton. So 5 people are on the stage, and Mr. Kajiya will continue to be the first moderator here as well. Okay, now again, me, Kajiya, is going to play the role of the moderator. And the main subject is innovation. For the sake of innovation, technological and organization solution, and improve well-being, the work environment, reports and discussion from companies and organizations in Japan and overseas. So content, the theme is the same, so the contents will not be that different from Roundtable C, the theme in that sense. So there are new 5 speakers here, and after the presentation, we would like to have another opinion exchange after each people's presentation. Now, I would like to move to the Shimizu Corporation as Mr. Kawata, and safety, anshin, and well-being initiatives in the construction industry. This is his title. Mr. Kajiya, thank you for your introduction, and we'll talk those well-being and for anzen anshin, so safety and safety, anshin, and well-being initiatives in the construction and industry. So overseas, I've been working on, and especially in the construction business, you see like building, bridges. I've been working for this company for 42 years, and mostly the tunnels. Construction, I've been involved and in here. So in the 43 years of working for this company, I've been working lots of projects, and especially these recent 6 years, EXAP. I'm also I do the director of EXAP, and also the advisor of Shimizu Corporation, and this European famous people. I have some exchange and communications and working on various projects. And today, in construction business, so the safety, anshin, and well-being initiatives in the construction industry, I would like to introduce today. So 43 years I've been working in this industry, in this company of Shimizu. So Japan is safe and secure place. But 6 years ago I joined EXAP, and that was the trigger. And like in the left graph chart, so Europe and Germany. So 100,000 people. How many people have fatalities? So fatal occupational injuries per 100,000 workers. Of course, I don't think we are beating the EU, but I thought like we were doing well. So EU 2006, like 1.3% amongst 100,000, but Japan 2.1, and UK this like halved, and was 0.8 in the 3 years, and in 2018. So steadily, 100,000 workers, like 2.12 or 1.7, we are doubling the fatal rate compared to the UK in all the industry. But construction, this is the data wise, it's not that this number is not much different, even just limiting to the construction industry, but at the same time the entire industry as well. And I was wondering why. And in this situation, Japan's current situation, let me introduce. The left side, left top half is the aging of the infrastructure of Japan. EU has like 100 years ago, you've been having a very developed infrastructure, even 100 years ago, and aging is now getting a problem. But 50 years ago, after World War II, like 50 years ago, after post-war World War II, like Tokaido, bullet train, and other highways and dams are aging, and these, as shown in this chart. So, like the bridge on the road, on the land, and also other highways or tunnels, it's aging. And amongst these investigations, all the industry 55 years and more older is increasing as a worker, and construction business more than 60 years or older, 50 years or older, such workers a lot. And in construction business industry, there's everybody know you don't have a good impression in construction business, do you? Younger people would not be willing to come in this business. And 2014, 3.43 million was there, but now in 2025, these kind of people is going to be 2.16 million. And so 1.2 million people is running shortage of the workers. And as you know, yesterday in Kanto there was an earthquake, magnitude 5, and Noto Peninsula, magnitude 6. No, the seismic score 6 plus intensity, and every year the huge rain, heavy rain. So natural disaster occurs, and in here, so 1.28 million workers we are in shortage, and now we cannot handle it. And in our construction business, what are we going to do? More and more, make our business more attractive. So 0.9 million people, like female, we could fill with a female, and 0.35 million people, we would the work leaning the work and trying to fill the gap by technologies. And so leaders in the disaster prevention and the mitigation, community protectors, that's the industry's role, construction business role. And next is in Japan. So this is the labor disaster. The blue is the entire business, and the yellow is the construction industry. And it's it's getting pretty much lower. So for this decade, as you can see, in all the industry, it's going down. But construction industry is ceasing to fall, and in the cease of fall, there are various things that we're working on, like education and doing many things. But for this decade, it's ceasing to fall, the fatality rate. So for 5 years ago, since we've been using various technology to resume the fall. And one work, so the eye construction done by the Ministry of Land, and constructing and building the road, people were doing. But now, like we do the transit, we were looking at using the machine. But we will now use the drone, and it took the measurement took like a couple of days, but like a couple of hours by using the drone in the middle. So this one is like in this height, this height is what we want to finish, and we have to. We would have some sort of a ruler to make sure that the height is exact as we have decided. But now there's a guidance would be provided by the machine, and we don't have to measure it manually. And various inspections like we manufacture, and we would see how the progress, the inspection by letting the drone fly. Most instantaneously, we could get these kind of data, and academia, industry, and the bureaucrat, the government is now working together to achieve these. 2016 cabinet meeting, 20% reduction, increasing the productivity. But by doing so, those dirty, dangerous, and hard, tough work. So in Japanese, you have Ks, 3 Ks for these representing these. So well paid, and well rested, and with hope. So I think that is exactly what well-being is. So it is used to be dirty, dangerous, demanding, but like 3 Ds. We call it 3 Ks in Japanese, but it was like this in our company. And one of the project that we are working. So digital general construction. So robotization, automation, AI, and IoT we are working on. The left top is cyber, and it's actually physically. This is what the right side is what we are going to construct. But even before we start the construction, by cyber, we're creating something like this, and we just simulate something like that. And if you do the cyber, the bottom left is like construction and having a scaffold and doing like these kind of works. But now we will make it in 3Ds, like what we are going to make. And what is the purpose for it? The construction is like there's the build to order is our business. There's not every one of our product is unique, and making it 3D, the risk of hazard risks and the factors that we need to consider comes out. We would simulate and then carry that out in reality. And this is civil engineering and other technology we would use in the construction industry. Next is 4D, holistic approach. And us, left top, we would do the technology too, but right top, like the talent development. And this is Kamearigo. Have you seen this? Yes, like on the other side booth, Kameari. You could experience various hazards. Like it's a virtual reality I've experienced as well. And from top, actually the real thing is falling down. So you would feel like if you react, like you would try to go away, or you would experience the fall from a very high place. And even if you know, it's very really you would experience like a reality. It's very important. But then workers, you never have the younger generation never had some hazardous experience, and they do not know what. And by educating this, let them experience what is hazard. And this is a manga here, and the manga is very easy to understand. And like this, and the left top is Mr. Mukaido no award-winning like this tunnel of Takino. Mr. Hiranozaka is doing this machine. This is like the management of. These are what we are doing, and like people coming into a dangerous place, so that it would be, and the productivity increased or improved by 20%, and using the technology of iConstruct and Safety 2.0, collaborative safety with 2 wheels or 2 factors, making it to 2 wheels, safe and secure, and increased productivity still and well-being. That is what we're heading for. Safety 2.0, this concept to Safety 1.0 is in the manufacturing department sector they're working. We don't have a belt conveyor like a manufacturing line or not a belt conveyor. So the collaborative safety was very applicable in our considering our nature of a business. And this is tomorrow. There are members who is joining to visit, and this is a Kajiwara Tunnel visit. We are going to visit tomorrow. This is like the in the highways, And this highway is doing it every way. We stop for a couple hours in the midnight, and we would bring all those scaffold and for work operation left in the cyber space. We do the construction video we create, and we will watch with the operators or workers together and having ourselves aligned and two parties aligned. And the bottom, this is the real image footage. It's not like second by second, but like minutes it's managed. And by doing the right top, like if you would lift something with a crane, and then original structure, like issue was the lighting. And the lighting, the clearance is only 10 centimeters, so we would have to review because there's a risk there. That is what we are doing right now. And right bottom is in here. So you cannot gather up together. We have their on-site, construction site, and headquarter management, and the people who ordered this party exists. We will connect by network, and like we would talk like the network and talking about what we should consider. And this. So Kameari Go, the vehicle, and there's 10 items of safety experience we can do. And the middle ones, like the harness is safety. Like if you fall from top, it's pretty shocking. So you would pull the people, lift these people up using the crane. And there's various fall impact experience and VR immersion is conducted. I think I showed you this before. In the Takimurazaka Tunnel, the safety manga and safety 2.0 certification, before taking it and after we took it, the workers' awareness or mindset is different. That is what I summarize. The blue one is before we got the certificate. Orange is after we got the certificate. So by working in such projects, the workers' awareness and mindset changes as well. And like the well-being, what I think about well-being, even all the people's feeling or emotionally, by doing so, people are happy. Okay, let's try these new projects. Those kind of, you're more positive in working on these kind of things. That is one of the beauty of these kind of projects. And this is the last page in the Shimizu's is like the respect people and respect human life, human being, and each and every one of people we faithfully face. And this is the morning briefing, and there's a signage board in the middle. The disaster, the past hazard or accidents occurred similar to what you're working. Look at the people's face; they are very serious, aren't they? They are watching the similar site which had the actual hazard accidents, and this is the CEO's Mr. Inoue. Top management is also instructing at the construction site, and the suppliers and the contractors and the workers. We become one team, and in a sense of unity, and make our construction business industry even more attractive. Lastly, so our people we will collaborate with a safe, well-being community we would like to contribute to by connecting to the whole world. Thank you for your attention. Kawata-san, thank you very much. And so this is a very specific cases that you've introduced, so it's very must be easy to understand, I believe. And now we would like to move on to the next item. The next speaker is like the principal consultant of Occupational Safety and Health Council, OSHE, Mr. Winston Yoon. The title, the theme, is like the technological solution to improve safety and well-being in the work environment, Hong Kong's experience. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Kenji-san. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure for me to attend this conference, and I have to thank the organizer for organizing such a meaningful event, such that we can exchange information and ideas on how to promote the Vision Zero. And here in my session, I would like to share with you our Hong Kong experience on how to apply the technological solutions to improve the safety and also the well-being in the work environment. And before I start, I would like to introduce our council. Our council is a statutory body established by the government in 1988, and our role is to promote the occupational safety and health standard in Hong Kong. We also have a team of researchers to work with the industry to promote and apply the new OSH technologies. And our government is also keen on developing Hong Kong into an innovation and technology hub. And from here, you will see that in the coming years, our government will commit over 2,200 billion yen for the innovation and the technology development. And we will help various sectors, such as the construction, the property management, the healthcare, and also the transportation and the logistics sectors to apply the latest technology. And next, I would like to show you some examples on how the companies in these sectors that can apply the technologies. And from here, you will see that some construction companies in Hong Kong had used the artificial intelligence to detect the danger zone. And from here, you will see that the AI can be used to detect whether the outriggers of the crane are fully extended. Or the AI can also be used to detect whether shackles are used for the multiple sling lifting. And here is another example of the danger zone of the excavation. And if there are unauthorized persons entering the danger zone, then the system will provide alert to warn the operators to stop the machine so as to prevent the accidents happen. And next, I would like to talk about the application of the digitized management platform and also the digital twins. And from here, you will see that these are the examples of some construction companies in Hong Kong. They apply the digital twin technology that enables the project team to real-time monitor the entire construction site in the virtual space. Because as you know that now we have used lots of the IoT sensors on the construction sites, and you can capture lots of the real-time data, such as the temperature, the relative humidity, the noise level, and also the dust level of the site. And also you will have some real-time data of the instant alert of the predefined restricted or fatal zones. So from here, you will see that if we can apply the digital twin technology, it can help you to connect the real site with the virtual site, but you can have a real-time monitoring of the safety performance and also the environmental performance. And also, we are now exploring the use of the robotics in our construction industry, because now we are facing the problem of the aging workforce, and also we are facing the problem of the manpower shortage in the industry. So how to make use of robotics to enhance the safety and also improve the productivity is also one of our main focus. And from here, you will see that before there is a welding robot, and now this is a paint spraying robot. And by using this robot, you can help to reduce the health hazard of the workers from, say for example, from breathing in the harmful fumes from the welding or paint spraying operation. And next, you will also see that this is the sky wash and the sky inspector, which can be used for the external wall cleaning or checking the water leakage. And if you have time, please go to the exhibition booth of the Square Dot Robotics. This is Hong Kong companies that are expert in developing the smart robotics that can enhance the safety and at the same time can also improve the productivity. And next, I would like to talk about the use of the IoT-based real-time driving safety system in the transportation and the logistic industry. Because as you know that every year, there are lots of the car crash accidents due to the drowsiness of the driver. So that is why the bus company in Hong Kong has developed this system. And it can help to monitor the level of attention of the drivers during driving. And say, for example, if the driver are feeling fatigued or drowsiness during the driving, then the system will provide warnings in the audio and vibrations so as to alert the driver to pay attention during the driving and prevent the accidents happen. And next, this is another application of using drones with the AI inspection in the property management sector. Before that, when we conduct the inspection at the external wall of the building, we will use gondolas or we will use the scaffold, which will have a falling from height hazard of the workers. And from here, you will see that by using drones, you can help to reduce the need for the workers working at height. And also by using the infrared measurement, we can detect the surface cracking and also the water leakage at the external wall surface. And the collected data can be analyzed by the AI system. And by using the drones with the AI inspection, it can be 50% more cost-effective when compared with the manual inspection. So from here, you will see that this is also an example of using the drones with the AI inspection that will be more cost-effective and also can enhance the safety. And this is also another application on how to apply the AI preventive devices to enhance the well-being. And from here, you will see that this is a mental health companion app called Hollow. And by leveraging the Azure Analytics and the AI services, it can help track the user's mental health status. And also, this is another system, what we call is the AI posture check. And the system can help to capture and analyze the picture every few seconds to see if the user has a correct posture. Say, for example, if he is sitting with an incorrect posture, then the system will provide the alert for the users. And finally, this is also another app, what we call, it can help you calculate the calorie and the nutrition content. And these mobile apps also employ the AI function to recognize the photos of the food and the beverages, and that can help to calculate the calories and the nutrition content. And these apps can also provide healthy tips for the users to maintain a healthy diet. So finally, to conclude, for good ideas and true innovation, we need human interaction, conflict, argument, and debate. But most important is that we need to have a dream, such that we can continue to explore and discover. So let's work together to build an innovative culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yong. Very interesting proposal. Thank you very much. We have proposed an interesting case with the various tools and applications. Thank you very much. Next presenter goes to Dr. Tamio Tamikawa, Director, Industrial CPS Research Center. The title is Necessary Human-Machine Coordination and New Safety Technology for the Issue of the Declining Workforce. Dr. Tamikawa, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. I'm CPS Research Center. It's a government center. I'm from the businesses. So I'm also working as a METI. So I'm focusing on the economy as well. So this time, not just I propose the work that they do in the AIST, and mainly about the robots. As the director of the METI mentioned, the declining workforce is a serious issue. So we have to think about to deal with. So there is a space for the robot to work. And we have to work to dissolving the aging population. We have 3 ideas. First is to increase the productivity. In the aging society, the number of workers decrease, but the productivity have to be maintained. Normally, that will lead to the automation, create an automated production line, and implement robots. But the current production process is complex, so the human is needed. Human's flexibility is very important. So robot productivity is high, but less flexibility. Then simply replacing the robot with human is not effective. So one of the point is to not just replacing human with robot or AI, but combination of the human flexibility and robot collaborate each other. So that means that one will be replaced with AI or robot is good, but one more person is human. So how to combine two and increase productivity. So in that sense, the safety is very important. And one more thing is that I'm not touching details, is to increase the number of production workers. One is like in the pandemic, like a remote work, remote teleworking, working at home has increased, but using the robots and can do the physical work. And then we can provide a workplace at various points. People can work, and if we have PWD or H people can work with a combination of robot, can participate into the society. And one more is with the aging society, the skill will be lost, and how to log as a data and succeed. And first, I want to focus on the collaboration with person and robot. The important point is that the collaboration with the robot and the people is how to understand human. So the digitalization is human, motion is important. We usually use motion capture or other technologies. And this is a combination of the motion captures and other devices, like sensing of the real time. In mostly real time, the people's emotion can be captured. Using such technology in implementing in the workforce is what we are doing. And with the learning data, to convert as a database, then AI can learn and predict what the human can do and what is exactly the human is doing, and AI can understand. Then can estimate, predict what the human can do. So the prediction is important. So we can collaborate each other to work each other, but we will think that what the other co-workers, peers are doing next and work. This is ordinary human do. And then what the human is doing so the AI to predict, that technology is important. Then next one is what we are doing. It's one of the collaboration. It's a concept base. So as I mentioned, the digital twin technology, and human is digitalized. And human, for example, in the assembly area, where it is complex, so will human do. On the back side, the robot will prepare the parts. And then when people be close to the robot, the AI will recognize and find out the best timing. Then robot will stop and collaborate each other, and then finally assemble. Then delivery robot will carry. The delivery robot must not be conflict with people, but the people can pick up the other parts. So the robot will predict, so not to contact with the human, and approach the human in the big timing. So how the robot will predict the human's activity is important. So a robot can work in adjusting with the human's pace. And you see the modern times of the Chaplin's movie, like kind of belt conveyors, and people move to match with the belt conveyor pace. That is not we work to do. The robot will match with the human paces. That is our concept and goal. And this one is with the collaboration with Toyota Motor. Actually, we jointly studied the system. Left side is actually what we're doing is the supply of the parts, various parts, and then people have to pick up. But with a combination of robot and human, the work can be effective. And this one is the actual one. And we use the digital twin technology. And one more is you can see the human is colored. That is what muscle have the high burden. That is checked in real time. That the people when have bend its knees have hard burden on the back. Then this person find it hard to pick up the parts on the back downside. So then it will be picked by the robot. So reduce the burden of the human. So if the human tired, the pace robot will increase the pace. So the route shows the total productivity. This is a collaboration, but what we're aiming is that the next step. This one is Dr. Fujita mentioned. This is a collaborative safety is a must. And what is we are aiming at on the back chart shows is that on the center, it is divided space is possible, but what we want next is really the human and robot can have a deep interaction is possible, but this is still dangerous. But if we can collaborate with a good timing, for example, human can pick up a scissor and hand it, robot can pick up a scissor and hand it to human is dangerous. But if we have a good timing, it's possible. And if the robot can keep a good timing, the collaborative safety is possible. So the predictor-based timing will increase productivity, and people can easy to work. That will lead to well-being. And the well-being technology is one of the concept. If we propose first digitalize people, that's one of the technology of well-being, and then how to capture the data is depending on each task. And then I like to think that idea with each other. Thank you very much. Dr. Tanigawa, thank you very much. The declining workforce and compensated by technology, that collaborative safety was very interesting. And we'd like to go into the next presenter, ISA agricultural sector, the director of Ms. Magdalena Wachinka-Wiske. May I call the Magdalena? The floor is yours.
Thank you. My name is Magdalena Wachnicka-Wiske. I know it's difficult to pronounce in Japanese. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring you to the totally different word. That is why it's a very specific word, the word of agriculture. That is why we called well-being as agri-well-being. And I would like to show you this approach based on both Agriculture Social Insurance Fund, which is a governmental administration office establishing a social security scheme for farmers, dedicated to farmers. And Agriculture Social Insurance Fund has several statutory tasks. One of the most important is preventive activity. And this preventive activity resulted already in 80% drop in the number of accidents over last 30 years. The second source of information for today's presentation, these are the experiences of our ISA Agriculture sections members. I want to say that some people say that you have to be born a farmer and have a natural love of farming. Certainly, if you do what you like, if you do what you love, you will achieve much more, because your work is your passion. And apparently, this might be the way to achieve well-being. I'm sorry. But I would like to put your attention to the fact that farming is incredibly demanding, and I would like to stress there should be considered 3 dimensions of well-being. We heard today already that these 3 dimensions, physical, mental, and social one, especially in the area of individual farming, which is very much different to the farming organized in the way of agriculture companies or big agro holdings. And when it comes about the physical well-being in agriculture, farming is an interdisciplinary area. So it's like few occupations in one, because a farmer has to be a mechanic, machine operator, chemist, meteorologist, animal caretaker, financial planner, ergonomist, computer operator, and probably much more. And farmers spend their time taking care of their livestock and crops within no specific work time frame. We used to say it's 24/7, actually. Sometimes experiencing a seasonal workload and various weather conditions as well. As a farm is a very specific workplace because it combines the place of work and the living area. It is difficult to separate work and family life and often difficult to find work-life balance. And there are already many measures in common use to take care of physical well-being of a farmer, and they concentrate on raising awareness of farm safety in different forms. Yes, these are different forms, because when we talk about safety, we have to do it in the way that people really start thinking about, will be encouraged to do it. So we have different tailor-made campaigns, competitions. We are talking about a very serious topic, which is safety, health, and well-being. But it's also that we have to find a way to talk about it as a really fancy topic. So sometimes to organize competitions is really a good way to encourage people to think about this topic. Workshops, farm audits, e-learning services, safety counseling services. They are also supporting investment in machinery and OSH equipment schemes, use of modern technologies as AI. We heard a lot about it, and it's also a part of, it's also implemented in agriculture. And use of e-medical services, which is very important, again, because of the specificity of agriculture. When we think about agriculture, we should think about very often about long distances. So e-medical services are very much in place, as well as special occupational rehabilitation and return to work schemes. The situation looks a bit different when it comes about mental well-being. And we have also here few determinants for this. I'm sorry. There are many reasons. One of the main is location of the farm, and there are also demographic changes. Young people are more and more attractive by the city rather than countryside. And I would say even more, women, especially young women, are more attractive about the city rather than countryside, and they link their careers with the city. It is also a very demanding business environment resulting from the risk associated with the climate change and natural disasters, growing social responsibilities regarding environment protection and food quality and safety. And it is also a separation from the family, especially when it comes about work migration. Just imagine, from working in the field to feeding animals, much of this work is done alone. If one doesn't have a family or friends nearby, isolating oneself is even easier. Making connections and spending time away from the farm with others is very important. That is why enriching rural communities is so valuable. I think that sometimes we forget about this, how important is this face-to-face contact. And I think that for myself, it is very important because from Poland to Japan is like 9,000 kilometers. I'm very happy to be here and to share my experiences with you face-to-face rather than to do it online. So I would say that there are many examples of our members of our East Agriculture section for enriching rural communities. One of very typical in Poland is that we have something like a cooking contest between the regions. It is like battle for the cakes, different cakes. And I think this is really an opportunity because it's much easier to talk about safety, having nice food around. And that is why I think that maybe these are simple solutions, but sometimes the simple solutions are very effective. So these were one example. It is worth also to stress that there are measures to remove certain risks from farmers causing a mental burden, such as example as a farmer's holiday and standing scheme, as well as social security and insurance schemes. And we know that an increasing number of preventing measures in the area of mental health, such as well-being advisors service by setting up call centers or early intervention network to prevent suicide situations. I think that I'm the first one telling about this very important topic, which is suicide. And one of our members of East Agriculture section, which is France, mentioning that they have actually the growing number of suicides among farmers. So that is why they started this early intervention plan. And what is important it is that we are not afraid to talk about it, that there is a problem. And when we identify the problem, it is important how to manage this problem to avoid these very difficult situations. So, however, it is necessary to mention that also that farming community is traditionally less open to discussing mental health and accepting support. So that is why it is so important to break the stigma around mental health crisis and support those in rural communities. And finally, social well-being, which fulfills the natural need to belong to a community or a society in a broader sense and contributes in increased level of psychological well-being and correlates negatively with feelings of anxiety, jealousy, loneliness, and guilt. And with social isolation, I mentioned already before, stigmatization of the farmers. This is also important. Stigma, it still exists for certain occupations, and it refers to farmers and even more agriculture bashing. I don't know if you heard about such situations. Agriculture bashing, maybe not everyone knows this, that we have the situation of a verbal and sometimes even physical abuse against farmers over concerns about detrimental effects of agriculture on health, the environment, and animal welfare. So that is why there is a great demand for the social well-being interventions, such as social campaigns to promote agriculture as a key sector of national economy, ensuring food safety and building social respect for the farmers' work. Physical and mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how farmers cope with stress, work with others, and make healthy choices. And I believe that this is our obligation to ensure farmers' well-being. And to achieve this, I think that we still need the better recognition of well-being, both on international and national level, as well as the involvement of all related parties, government, rural communities, and farmers themselves. どうもありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Magdalena-san. In the agricultural sector, there are more challenges than we expected. That was the understanding thanks to Magdalena's speech. So this is a great motivation for our new well-being promotion. Now the last speaker will be invited from Manage Damage, who is the founder and the managing director of the company Managing Damage, Gillian Hamilton, and the futuristic solution to global regulation challenges and leveling the playing field with ones and zeros. That's the theme. Thank you. Would you please start your speech? Thank you very much.
Today I talk to you about the future. We can only solve original problems with new and creative ideas. We must solve these with ones and zeros. Today I'm going to talk to you about a problem that Mr. Ho and Ms. Bonnie brought to our attention earlier on today. This is the number of inspectors in compared to the number of companies that are in our macro environment. This is the increase of small employers in our working environment across the globe. This is a global problem. It is one that everyone in this room, we share. However, in Australia and across every other country, just because a company is small does not mean that they do not have occupational health and safety duties to their employees and also to the public. So we all have this same difficult problem. We have limited time. We have limited resources. We have far too many things to do. And we have unlimited expectations. Welcome to 4 or 7 or 8.0, okay? Unfortunately, this is a state of impermanence. We are constantly changing. And as the seasons change, so does every part of our work. In Australia, this is our pie graph of the number of employers and the number of workers by segment. This is from 2005. You can see that this 1 to 4 is 850,000 or so. It's about 55%. Let's look again at this number. It is the orange one. I cannot see if I point. The orange one is the same number, okay? It's gone down to 26%, but a huge increase in this non-employing of people. So the number of entities or organizations with just a boss and nobody else is skyrocketed. It is 1.5 million nearly. It is huge. So then we move to 1.5 non-employing and another 700,000 who are 1 to 4. You can see this is 2022. I see Mr. Ho going, this is my worst problem in the world, huh? But it is a shared problem, not only for inspectors, but for businesses. Let me tell you how. I am an inspector. I come to your business. Your business has 10,000 people. Hurrah! I have arrived and I will have an impact on 10,000 people immediately. Wow, what a great day for an inspector, huh? Also, this is a great day for a company because I only have to see an inspector one time. He is at my one workplace and he won't bother me very much anymore. Hoorah, yeah? If my business has 10,000 people working in this business, again, the inspector is ecstatic. This is good news. But this is the actual reality of most 10,000s. These little baby things you see, these dots, are actually houses where people are working from home and our employers have a duty to step over and to understand, are these people safe in their workplaces? If we add these people together, it gets smaller and scarier. And of course, in 2022, in Australia, 2.6 million people are basically working from home or individual businesses. There is only 1,000 inspectors in Australia. 2.6 million? Who else has this problem? Hand up, because Bonnie is there. He's there. Everybody else has this problem. People are working in different ways these days. So much effort to check and on all the businesses. And also so much stress for the businesses as well, because the inspector may come with an angry face instead of a welcoming way, which could have worked in the past, because in the past we were regularly mega employers. This was the way it worked. So, who else has this kind of problem? We must always solve a very difficult problem with a solution that maybe someone else has thought of before. How did the tax collectors work it out? We have no problems with tax collectors finding workers and employers to make them pay tax, correct? We do. How do they do it? They do it by company mandatory reporting. So today I ask you, why do we not have company mandatory reporting to the regulators? I had this idea from COVID because in Australia, we had to report in some states what was our response to COVID-19. And then I thought, how could this improve efficiency? This means that inspectors and regulators could have a quarterly request to submit certain documents, and certain documents would be requested based upon the risk of the kind of industry you work in, and also based upon extra data that you may gather from a workers' compensation regulator and the company, but also the industry challenges. For me, this AI-driven cross-checks and data is actually the best way to level the playing field. Because as an employer, I don't want to see an inspector every week just because I'm a big company. My competitors should also have the same reporting requirements, should have the same expectations. And I think that this is a way that we could have an increased efficiency of regulation, but also, of course, an excellent increase in the safety of people, the health of people, and also the well-being of people. We could also ask at certain times to have certain things reported so that an organization will all have to respond on a particular item. Maybe Japan would ask for well-being this week because we spoke so much about well-being. So I think this is a way to make a smart, more safe and well economy, and globally we can reach more people with our ones and O's. I thank you so much for your time. Arigatou gozaimasu.
So,
Jillian, thank you very much for your very interesting speech, and your slides was excellent so that I couldn't move my eyes from it. And we exceeded the planned time, but 5 speakers' presentation have finished. The time is quite limited, but so very briefly, I have to raise a very simple question to 5 speakers so that they will respond to the question. So this is a quite simple question. Safety and health are measured in a standardized manner, but from your perspective, like a CEO or a manager or a researcher, from your different perspective and the positioning, when you hear the well-being, what's the definition in a word? Or what is the excellent well-being status? Could you describe that? I'm asking this question because when you see a Japanese brochure, we see well-being because we don't have any good translation from well-being into Japanese words. So I need to solicit your idea to define well-being. So start from Kawada-san, would you please? Was as you said, with hope. If you can have a hope, then you are in a well-being status. Thank you. I see.
Hey, hello. That's a very good question and difficult question because how to measure the well-being is not easy. And it involves not only measuring the physical health and the psychological health, but also it involves how to measure the level of happiness, the life satisfaction, and also the quality of life. If you want to know more, I suggest you can look at two important reference material. The first one is the Quality of Life questionnaire developed by WHO. This questionnaire is very comprehensive and supported by a lot of the research studies. And this questionnaire developed by WHO can help to measure the quality of life. We have also used this questionnaire in Hong Kong to measure the quality of life of the injured workers, and it is very useful. And besides the WHO guidebook, another guidebook is a very new one. It is a Vision Zero Wellbeing Guide developed by the ISA and Human House. This is a also very important guidebook. Okay. So if you have time, because I look at the guidebook and there is an enterprise well-being maturity model tools that can help you to measure the well-being of the employees. So if you have time, please look at these two guidebooks. And also we have the expert all over here, the ISA, the Human House, ORP Foundation. So if you have time, please ask them.
Hi, next please.
Well, in a nutshell, growth or the motivation and the inspiration compared with yourself yesterday and today, you can measure it. For instance, if you are in a sick position, are you improving from yesterday to now? That is the factor of well-being, and we'd like to show it with digitalized data, and that's the well-being tech. Thank you. I see.
I think that we have really a big problem here to answer this question. Okay, I will ask you this question. How are you doing? If I ask you, each of you, how are you doing? What would you think about? Did I ask you about your physical well-being? Did I ask you about your mental well-being? Everyone will have a different understanding, so that's very difficult. But I think there is no one answer for this. As if I think about one, actually I mentioned this example during my presentation, an early intervention scheme in France to stop the growing number of suicides. So when I have this scheme, and after a while I could verify to monitor this implementation, and then I will verify if the number of suicides drop, that would be something I could really measure with the number. But actually, each accident less is also a measurement for well-being, because in the end, we are talking about 3 dimensions: safety, health, and well-being. Thank you.
Julian, last Julian, please.
Thank you. I think another document to reference is ISO 45003. It is released in 2021, which is about psychological health and safety at work, and it has guidelines for managing psychosocial risks. The Finnish regulator has also, from Finland, has just released an excellent well-being measuring tool, which is available online. Also, the Australian government has just released a People at Work online survey tool as well, which can be referred. And of course, I was lucky to contribute with the ESA Wellbeing Guide, which I also recommend. But one thing I will add, in Australia, we are very tough. We are mostly farmers, and we don't like this mental health term. It's very uncomfortable to us. These unseen feelings seem a little squirmish. So we call it mental fitness. We think about the resilience of an individual and how fit is their mind, how fit is their body, and what is the mental fitness of this person today. And then it goes from some weird concept we can't define to an actual physiological, a body strength, and also a function, which is actually what we are talking about. So it's not so obscure. We call it mental fitness.
はい。皆さん非常に
So that has been very that have been very interesting comments, and the time is quite limited, and I'd like to close the session D, or the roundtable D. And before that, well, to the 5 speakers and their interesting presentation and the very valuable comments, we'd like to give a big hand to the 5 people. Thank you very much.